You need to see what's possibly coming for SPY and QQQ. I'll cover some other technicals in this video as well, but there's some massive stuff happening probably in the near future, maybe even today. If not today, next week is that week, especially with the Fed meeting coming out on Wednesday. The market is putting itself in that precarious position, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So here's the chart on SPY. By the way, this is already available over at my Discord through the Patreon. Links down in the description. If you guys want to see this stuff before it hits YouTube, it's there for you. Look at this, that label that I have here. Watch for rejection off this trend line. This trend line that you see is off the previous peaks that we have for SPY. Are we under the conditions right now for a new all-time high coming in for the S&P 500? I don't know that now's the time that that happens. I think that now's the time that we test out where that high is and that we retrace back down. We do have a bottom trend line that's along here. This could set us up for that Fed meeting. We hit up here. Everybody is having a lot of fun. Next week, we get a little bit worried about what the Fed could say, especially their summer of economic projections. And then we start to look down here into these areas that need to be switched over to color coding after such a strong move in the market. There we go. Need to start switching these over to support values instead of resistance values. Things that you need to watch if we do happen to retrace back down this way. I will leave this one red for right now, as I don't believe that it's solidly broken. We're going to have to watch and see. But absolutely, watch out for values near 564. That's why I have this price label out here for you. That's the rejection off this trend line. So if we get a good, strong green day in the markets today, we can go ahead and enjoy that. I expect that we're likely going to have some profit taking, especially leading up to such a big catalyst next week. So guys, highly, highly critical that we watch for this value. And over to the Qs from there. For the Qs, we are actually, let me go to the daily chart first, then we'll come back to this, because I want you to see amongst all the other mess that I have on here. Now, mind you, it's a really good mess. If you haven't been watching my videos, my technicals have been on point, and I had somebody join the Patreon a couple days ago that says, hey, could you update the Qs for me? I did. And they said, I like to day trade the Qs. I'm like, well, here you go. Here's some numbers for day trading. And they're like, wow, those are tight. So the technicals are on. And I'm not saying that out of hubris. I'm just saying if you go back and watch my videos for the last 3 or 4 weeks, the new approach that I've taken has them dialed to where we find those supports and resistances. And then we can use some other technical indicators to also talk about direction leading up to that. But look at this consolidation pattern that we have for the Qs. And you can see that we're narrowing down to something. Breaking above is going to be bullish. Breaking down below is going to be bearish. We'll see if we get that touch from up here. And that touch, if we go down to the hourly chart, we can see that even better. There we go. So we'll move that around. Actually, I'm going to get rid of some of these gray lines because those are some of those values that we had for the day trading. There we go. Move that down. This trend line, this top trend line that we have, this is the top of that consolidation pattern, right around 477. We'll see if we get that rejection there. We're actually in between my support and resistance lines that I have on here, and I need to change this color coding to green as well. Like I said, these technicals already available over at Discord. You can see them over there. So I think that they're absolutely worth checking out. It looks like we can peak at around 474, but up above that, about 477. This will change a little bit because it's slanted downward, so it'll drop the longer we take to get there. But we would definitely want to be watching for a rejection off this top trend line today, because that's the top of the consolidation pattern. So for people interested in shorting, I'll never tell you what to buy and sell, but I think that there's opportunity that's right there, and that's something that I'm watching for, and hopefully I'm able to capture it as we come up to that price. I think that we could pop back down through it. Peekaboos are possible. You can see to the upside on this. I have some other prices labeled for you for where we can find resistance, and then also some free float area up to 485. And you can see some of the prices I have down below its current price action as well. And I think that you're going to find that those are also very solid values to pay attention to. So that's what I have for SPY and QQQ. I think it's going to be absolutely critical leading up to the Fed meeting to watch those values, to see what's going on. IWM is another story. I'll share that with you as well, along with NVIDIA, Tesla, Bitcoin, and TMF. What the heck? But those are just going to be much quicker. The big thing right now is that if we're looking for a temporary top of the market, like with the Fed meeting coming up, the summary of economic projections coming along, what is it going to signal for us? Is it going to signal more loosening in the labor market? Is it going to signal things for recession? Is it going to be more confirmatory of what the Fed sees as a Goldilocks scenario? And we're just going to have to watch and see. That's Wednesday. That comes out at 2 p.m. Jerome Powell talks at 2:30. So 30 minutes after that comes out. And I think it's going to be a major market impact. All right, let's wrap this up with some of the other ones just to watch and see. This white trend line across this is the top of a bull channel. And well, for IWM stocks, if we open above there and if we're able to keep that, that could be bullish for us. However, if we fall down below, we have this area down, that right here, which at the moment is support, but I'm going to leave it because we got rejected off there yesterday. Pre-market looks to be pretty strong. We'll see if we can hold up around that 213 or higher. You can see those prices to the upside on that. And if you look down below, you can see some of the other prices that I have. I will be updating the IWM chart probably this weekend. So when it comes out next week, it's going to look different. Like I said, I put those updates out over to the Discord first. And then when I record for YouTube, I'll bring them over here as well. There's other stuff like my buys and sells in that Discord as well. And you guys can also learn this technical analysis through my through the Stockmo Academy technical analysis course with the bread recipe, which is a trading strategy that you can set up. It teaches you how to do it. It teaches a lot of other things too, but that trading strategy is very solid. I personally use it. People in my Discord use it. People in the Stockmo Discord use it. And it's a very, very popular trading strategy that people are having a lot of success with, oftentimes paying for their course in as little as just one trade that goes their way, course is paid for. So you can make it even easier to pay for, by the way, if you use the coupon code DOCTOR when you sign up. So DOCTOR for that, by the way. IWM, watch the top of that channel. You can see the prices to the upside. Screenshot it if you need to. NVIDIA, where do we find ourselves for NVIDIA? Well, we actually were able to pop up above and close above this yesterday. So that's going to go from resistance over to support for us. There we go. So you can see that change. We actually have a little gray line in here showing where the top of this was. And we missed it by about 18 cents. For this line that's on here. Now, mind you, I put this line on today, not yesterday, just to see why we stopped out there the way we did. And it went back to this most previous low to high to low that we had. And that's where that came from. Today, we need to push up above that. And we're in a consolidation pattern as well for NVIDIA. And this is one that we need to be able to see where that top is, which currently looks like around maybe 128-ish in the near future and descending all the time unless we can pop out through the top of it. So for Tesla, where do we find ourselves for that? Well, for Tesla, we are in a rising wedge pattern, selling down in the pre-markets from yesterday's close, so down a little bit. Support for this is right around 228 to 229, so we want to be watchful for that. 233 to 242 to the upside. If we fall down through support, then we have 215 to 216 to look at, and down below that is about 210. And then Bitcoin, we're up above our resistance. If we can keep on pushing up above our resistance, we could see 60, 61 coming out for us. That would probably be helped out by further strength in the financial markets that we have, like the SPY and QQQ. And then finally for TMF trading up a little bit from yesterday's close, still in a consolidation pattern as well for TMF. So if you look at this, you can see the highs and lows that we're narrowing down to a more of a breakout moment. I'm going to guess it'll probably be to the upside sooner than it would be to the downside on this one. That's assuming that we don't get, if we get rejected here, then we sell back down and we have some pretty strong support on the way down. And if we break through the top, then you can see my price targets that I have to the top side of this, which I think would include a 52-week high or something darn near it. And then what we have up here for this price target would take us going all the way back to July of 23. So it'd be pretty far back in time to get there, but I think it is possible that we see that bullishness come out of TMF in the near future, especially if the markets do happen to pull back into next week. Maybe TMF goes up a little bit. It was helped out a lot more when the Fed, when it was looking more like a 50 basis point cut, or then when that was more likely, I should say. It was about even at one point between 25 and 50. And it's shifted more now since the inflation reports came out and other things to being predominantly 25 basis point with very little on the table yet for a chance at the 50 basis point cut. Guys, if you want to see my buys and sells, if you want to see my technicals before they hit YouTube, if you want to talk with me and my community members, the link for the Patreon, click that, sign up, hop on over to the Discord. We'd love to see you over there. And then technical analysis, if you want to learn to empower your portfolio through technical analysis trading, you can also access that link down in the description. Click, sign up, use code word doctor. When you do, it's going to give you a massive discount on that. Thank you guys for watching. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning. I'll see you in the next video.